one little story. When I was in Revelstoke, right? Nice town. It's a great ski area, one of my favorite ski areas. But I'm in a bar, in a dirt kind of bar, right? Not the ones that all the skiers went to, but more the locals went to. And I'm sitting next to this fella, and we started chatting. And he had just moved into town after living for 5 years off grid, right? And I mean off grid. He had, his own garden, blah, 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 how he heated, and when he had solar and stuff like that. And we're chatting away. And I'll never forget this. We somehow got onto the topic of his dad, and his dad, unfortunately, had some substance abuse issues, drinking, et cetera, and was in and out. And he must have had a troubled life with this kid, and maybe that's why his kid decided to fuck everything and just go out with his family. Anyhow, great conversation, touched as human beings, right? We felt each other. He gets up, and as he leaves, he gives me a kiss on top of my head and just walks off, right? And I thought that was profound. For me, it was profound. It's like, never saw the guy again, but it was like, I must have reminded him of his dad, what I was doing, right? And yeah, it was a touching moment. And so I have a lot of, believe it or not, I have a lot of those on my trips, right? I have a lot of those. I love talking with people, learning more about them. And you know me, I don't suffer fools at all. So I'm not good at the small talk shit, right? But we get through that and get into stuff that's tangible and engaging conversations. I remember this barmaid, it wasn't a very busy night for her. And I'd find out that she, in fact, was a traveler like myself, traveling all over, spent some time in China, wherever she can make some money, she hung out, so on and so on, right? And we were having a great old time talking, sharing stories and so on. Her night was up, I was still there, and I gave her a pretty big tip, right? And she's now checked out. I'm still having a couple of pops, and she comes over to me and says, did you mean to leave this tip? Right? Did you make a mistake on the decimal point? I said, no, that's what I wanted to leave you. And a tear started dropping down from her eye, right? Can I give you a hug? I said, absolutely. Yeah, boom, right? It's like, never saw her again. But, these moments of when you touch somebody, right? To me, is partly why I do this traveling, right? It's my own growth in terms of understanding how I react, how I will be self-sufficient, et cetera, but it's also about other people and how they're living their life, because everyone's got a cross, everyone's got something that they're suffering with, right? And when you can break through and touch and not a better feeling.